at TCH Social in Austin. Join us for a special full day of meetup games as we go all in with some of the biggest names in poker and Texas politics, including Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, 2004 WSOP main event winner Greg Raymer, poker vlogger Wolfgang Poker, WSOP bracelet winner Fireman Scott, plus throughout the day. Tons of great promos including high hands, free play, time match, and dollar beers. For more details, visit texascardhouse.com.
So big meetup game next week, TCH Social. Tonight we are in South Texas, Rio Grande Valley. And yes, we do realize one of the cameras is black. We do realize one of the screen is black. And since we're on a 15-minute delay, it's going to be fixed here in 15 minutes. So this action started at 6 p.m. here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Like I said, the camera does get corrected, but it does take 15 minutes to do so. So anytime that specific camera is going to pan to the players in seat 3 and 4, that's the camera that got corrected. So it looks like the Queen Jack of Don Neto is going to be taking down this pot. It was actually Jimbo. So Jimbo there in seat 3. You can see the stack sizes on the bottom. And we do have access to the YouTube chat. So there are the stack sizes, what the players bought in for. Jimbo went in the first hand. He's up $16. He's in for $300. SR2 in seat 4, 500. Dilu right next to him in seat 5, 500. River Rat, 300. Teddy, RG3, seat 7, 300. David T in seat 8. Yeah, so anytime the camera is going to scroll to seat 1 or 2, seat 1 or 2, that's the camera that gave us problems. The camera is corrected, but like I said, since we're on a 15-minute delay, it takes 15 minutes to get corrected. So anytime the action is going to be on Don Neto or seat 2, Tomas, then it's just going to not show them. Like I said, we are aware of the problem, and it is actually already fixed. The reason why you still see the black screen there is because of the 15-minute delay. So everybody with an ace. The ace 3 with the pair of threes. Ace 5 and ace 4 both with straight draws, needing each other's card. And it looks like the ace 3 is going to win it here. And that's going to be River Rat putting out a small $10 bet. So Teddy RG3, you can see he does have the Oreo cookie there. So Don Neto in seat 1, he was in for 300. Seat 2, Tomas also in for 300. Seat 3, Jimbo in for 300. Seat 4, SR2 in for 500. Dilu in for 500. Seat 6, River Rat in for 300. Seat 7, Teddy RG3 in for 300. Seat 8, David in for 990. And seat 9, Rios in for 300. And we do have a button straddle. So action's going to start to the left of the straddle. So action will be on Jimbo. And once the camera zooms in on seat 1 or 2, it is going to be blacked out. So they started playing just after 6 p.m. And we started the stream here at about 6:17, I want to say. So the problem should be corrected just after 6:30. We're talking about local time here in Texas, Central Time. And we are going 4 ways to a flop of 100 $149 in the middle. And it's going to come 8 high. Nobody flopping a pair. And it looks like it's going to go check around. And somebody had Jack 9, I believe. There's the Jack 9. Jimbo turning the straight. River Rat does have a draw to a bigger straight. Jimbo's going to bet 50, so a 1/3 size pot bet here. River Rat going to need a jack on the river. Everybody else. Yeah, so River Rat needs a jack on the river, and Rios needs a 9 on the river for the bigger straight. So everybody with a jack or a 9 in their hand, it is the Jack 9 out in front right now. And Jack 9 will remain the nuts. Let's see how much Jimbo bets on the river here. Looks like he's betting about half his stack. And nobody can really call him here. River Rat with queen high. Rios also with queen high. And it'll be a quick fold. So Thomas on the stream, seat number 2, has a fan in the chat. Jimbo still stacking the chips. Looks like we have no straddle. So action's going to be on River Rat there in seat 6. 1-3, the minimum buy-in is 300. The natural 9 for David T. He's taking it up to 15. D-Lou with the ace queen. Putting out the 3-bet. Rios likes his suited connectors, and he will see a flop. And an ace right on the flop for D-Lou. As a matter of fact, David T also called. The down bet by D-Lou, 3-bet into 55 pre-flop, hitting his ace, and now sizing down, giving David T a real good price to hit his gut shot, and David T's going to pay that price as he needs a 3. D-Lou not too worried about diamonds as he does have the ace of diamonds in his hand, and now he picks up the straight draw. Will probably be, no, he checks. So checking to induce a bet here by David T. David T is going to fall for it here. As I said, D-Lou probably not too worried about the flush as he does have the ace of diamonds in his hand. Probably not too worried about a straight either as he is blocking that with the queen. The only hand he's really worried about here is probably Jack 10 as David T betting big on the turn. Be interested to see what happens on the river here. You can see D-Lou only has 230 left in his stack. So pretty big hand here early on. Oh, David T hitting his straight. The flush draw did get there as well. And D-Lou's going to be going all in and getting the bad news. Delu didn't think his opponent had a flush since he had the ace of diamonds. He was correct on that part, but he did hit a straight. The 2-outer for David on the river. I actually really like the way Delu played this hand. Just got very unlucky as he did a 3-bet.
Barrels, table 9.
David T, your initial raiser to 15. Picking up a call from Rios, and then Delu making it 55 out of the big blind. I thought it was a good size in, but both David T and Rios call him to 15. So David T getting very lucky, and you can see he is up over $550 as Delu will get his rebuy taken care of. So we are live on the YouTube chat. I do realize we're streaming on many platforms. You might be watching us on one of those other platforms, such as Facebook or Twitch. The only access that I have is the YouTube comments. So Delu will rebuy for 3. Getting unlucky early on here. And as I said, that camera has been fixed. And probably within the next 5 minutes, it should be good. Tomas raising it with spades. Jimbo also calling with spades. Delu getting back in the action with a 3. Kind of ironic as the 3 on the river made his opponent a straight. Now he has pocket 3s.
We got 4 plays to a flop.
And we're going 4 ways to a flop. King 9-9, 2 diamonds. Jimbo hitting the king. And he's going to put out a small bet here. Delu with the quick fold. A lot of cards can counterfeit his pocket pair, and he knows that. So far, Jimbo, he's up a buy-in. Bought in for 300. He's up 311. David T bought in for 990, and he's up 550. Everybody else in the red. And Delu is going to be putting on the $10 button straddle. So action's going to start in the small blind. Starts to the left of the straddle. If it's an under the gun straddle, goes to the left. If it's a button straddle, goes to the left as well. And River Rat with the Queen 10 offsuit makes the call. Teddy RG3. And if you saw the shot right there on the camera, you saw that it got reset. So now they're just going to zoom it in. And maybe this hand, for sure the next hand, it should be working properly. Jack high flop 2 spades. Don Neto with 2 spades in his hand. He also has a pair with the King 5. So pretty big flop here for Don Neto. So there's the camera that was not working. As I said, it did get reset and it's working now. But after this hand, they will zoom it in. That way, whenever the action is on any of the players in seat 1 or 2, we'll be able to get the close-up look. RG3 with middle pair here. Teddy RG3. And yes, that is an Oreo that he has as a card protector. So even though Teddy RG3 has a better pair, it is Don Neto that is favored. It's going to go check, check. Don Neto looking for a king, a 5, or a spade. And another 3 on the river. This time that changes nothing. Teddy RG3. Looks like he's going to put out a little bet here. So interesting play here as it looked like Teddy RG3 put out a little blocker bet here. Don Neto felt his bet was weak, so he raised it. The sizing, though, is probably going to get called, and that's exactly what happened. So Don Neto will show his hand, and Teddy RG3 will show the better hand. So Don Neto figured out that the bet on the river was a little weak, so he raised it. The only problem is he essentially min-clicked it, went from 45 to 55 more. And as I said, the camera should be fixed now this hand once the action zooms in to seat 1 and 2 there. You can see we do have a button straddle. The minimum is $6. The maximum is $10. The minimum buy-in to this 1-3 stream game is $300. The minimum buy-in to the 1-3 on the main floor, we have a couple of tables going on there, is $100. So we do realize that people like to play big pots and see big pots on stream. So that's why the buy-in's a little bit more here. David going to be making the raise? Or did he just make the call? No, he made the fold with the 5 deuce. D-Lou with the jacks should be taking it up to about 60 here. It's going to be 50. River Rat had the $10 straddle out. And last time D-Lou raised it up, he got called by this exact same hand. And River Rat will reluctantly fold his 10-8 of spades. It looks like Don Neto's going to go all in here, which should clear everybody else out, and he will get heads up with D-Lou here. So D-Lou, pretty big favorite here. And a 3 on the river will hurt him again. A spade, picks up spades now. Oh, the 3 on the river again. That is crazy. D-Lou, a huge favorite each time, and getting rivered by a red 3 each time. So rough start here for D-Lou. Don Neto getting lucky with a 3 on the river. So the aggression frequency, if you've never tuned into the stream here on Wednesday nights, the line I always use is I really don't pay any attention to these stats until we get about 20 hands in, just because the sample size is way too small. On a normal 1-3 stream, we're going to get anywhere between 80 and 100 hands in for the night, as it is a 4-hour stream. So normally I wait until we get to 20 hands to get the proper sample size, in my opinion. We do have an under-the-gun straddle. Don Neto put in 11. Thomas will make the fold. Jimbo does as well. SR2 makes the fold. And D-Lou with a red 3 in his hand makes the call. River Rat has hearts. D-Lou's hearts are betters. And we got jacks again. So D-Lou making it 50 last time, and Rios making it, looks like 55 here. So similar sizing. Probably would have liked to see a bigger sizing come from Rios just because he's out of position. D-Lou making the raise last time on the button with the jacks. Rios out of the big blind, and you can see Don Neto is thinking about calling, and he calls with the 10-3. D-Lou's gonna make the call as well. And that's gonna bring along Riverette? No. So 3 ways to the flop we go. You can see there's $177 in the pot. Delu looking for a king or some hearts. And it's going to come ace, deuce, 2 diamonds. Rios will put out the continuation bid here of 60. And that'll get the job done. So high hand is taking place right now. These players are eligible for said high hand. And it is $1,100. Progressive high hands every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. $100 every hour with rollovers. You can see the fine print on the bottom. Aces full of 10s to qualify must use both hold cards, and that is why the high hand is now over $1,000. So these players are eligible for that high hand. Looks like we have a button straddle. Rios with the queen 3, the San Francisco busboy, will put that in the muck. Doneto with the ace 8 puts out another $7. Delu sees a suited ace, going all in for 1, 2, 3. So Teddy RG3 with the 5s, making the fold. And looks like it's going to work. So Delu picking up $21 there. So high hand is currently $1,100 at the Texas Card House, and that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday taken care of here as well, and we'll let you know what those promotions are. Looks like Rios has a $6 button straddle. Doneto with a 3-2 into the muck. Thomas will also muck it. The Ducks for Jimbo. He makes the call. Ace-7 of clubs for River Rat. Also calls the $6. And we are going 3 ways to the flop. Everybody with black cards. Both River Rat and Rios sharing clubs. And the ace comes right on the flop. About a pot-sized bet here for River Rat. Nobody really has anything to continue with. So the promo on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's a good one. Between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. So essentially before noon, you play 1 hour, you get 3 hours for free. So play 1 hour, get 3 hours free. Obviously, it's limited once per day. A very good promo there. If you like to start off the day early with some poker. No straddle this hand. Delu coming in for the raise with the ladies. Bumps it up to 20. I thought maybe 15 would be a good size in, but you can see that he has gotten called a lot. So sizing it up a bit.
We have 3 players to the flop.
And Delu basically saying if you have the queen, if you have the king, you have the king. And he's just going all in here. Looks like it's going to work. So Dilu started to make a comeback, slowly but surely. Now I mentioned this earlier. We are on a 15-minute delay, and that's pretty standard for any stream that you see online. And the reason why is don't want any sort of possible colluding or cheating to take place where these players can be getting signals from somebody that's watching the stream and letting them know what to do. So that's pretty standard with the 15-minute delay. So these players started just after 6 o'clock, and we went on air at just past 6:15. I think we went on air at 6:16, I believe, is when we went on air. So we're on a 15-minute delay. And the reason why I bring that up is because I just talked about it in regards to the high hands. I've been told within the next 15 minutes, somebody's going to hit a high hand here. It's not going to be this hand. I guess it could be this hand. It can no longer be this hand. Rios, only worried about the queen. Oh, and Neto. So we have 10 high betting and Jack high going all in. Welcome to the Rio Grande Valley. Rios knows he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. It's only $40 more for him to call, but he's not going to make the call. So Doneto with the win. So a lot of great promos here. Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. The very popular tournament, our Friday night tournaments. I've been told this is actually going to be even better for the players, as the $20 buy-in is going to be waived. So the initial $20 buy-in, they're going to start waiving that for the members. So essentially, it's going to be a free roll on Fridays, $2,000 guaranteed 20K starter stack. So 4 ways to the flop we go, $44 in the middle, and it's going to come 10 high with 2 clubs. Doneto with those clubs. We saw Doneto with a huge flop earlier, a pair and a flush draw, and he has a huge flop again as he has a pair and he is open-ended with a flush draw this time. Nobody has anything to call him with. And he will take down the pot. Football squares. Another great promo here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Now make sure you do play early during the week. If your plan is to watch the game here on Sunday night, make sure you're here during the week trying to get squares. There are 100 squares, and once they are handed out, that is it. No straddle this hand. It's going to be on Teddy RG3. David T taking it up to 15. Rios Doneto making the call. Dilu also coming along with the Jack 2, the Choctaw Nuts. 4 ways to the flop we go, $63 in the middle. Action's going to be on Dilu, and he's going to hit a 2. Open ender for Doneto, and he's going to be putting out of bed here. Almost the pot size bet, $55 into 63. Rios with the 2 face cards. We'll finally let it go. So Thomas with another friend in the chat. Mr. Popularity. Good player, great guy. No straddle this hand. I know. Oh, and right when I say that, Delu puts the 10 out. Ace King for River Rat just calls the 10. Pretty awkward position. Picking up Ace King essentially under the gun there. Because if you put a raise in that position, it is super strong. So he's hoping that somebody raises so he can put in the back raise, but nobody's going to comply. And we're going to go 5 ways to a flop of $50. And he's going to hit trips. Keep in mind, the high hand is in play. Don Neto with a flush draw. And he's going to bet his flush draw. Small bet here. I don't see River Rat raising just because he wants to get a high hand. The qualifier is aces full of 10s or better. Oh, River Rat does raise.
75.
I actually think raising is the right play just because if somebody has a worse king, they're going to call you. Or if somebody has a flush draw, they're going to call you. But like I said, the reason why I thought that he was just going to call is because of the high hand, wanting to see a turn in the river. But he's not going to get to see it. So if the king of diamonds would have showed up, then it would have been different. Under the gun straddle from Rios, it's going to be $15. And River Rat trying to put it on, but it is under the gun that has priority. And you can straddle up to half your stack here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley, if you are straddling under the gun. There is a cap on the button. It's a minimum $6, a maximum $10. But under the gun, it's up to half your stack. So 15 if you want to play. And Jimbo, 10-8 suited. Seen that hand a lot. He wants to play.
I didn't know that. Three players will flop.
Ten high, all diamonds. Jimbo with a 10. Rios with a diamond. But it is River Rat betting out 15. And both players will call him. Rios also has a gut shot, needs a 7. And Rios is going to hit his flush. It's going to go check around. Let's see if Rios puts out something small here with his 9 high flush. And it's going to be something small. Hoping that somebody hit the ace. River Rat does have the jack. And he's going to pay to see the diamond. And it looks like we do have a button straddle. So the max on the button is going to be 10 here in the 1-3 game. And it'll be on seat 8, David to act.
Come on, Gil.
The Phillies. There's already 1-1. Thank you.
That's the worst.
I feel getting red just because all the.
And you were in a hand too.
I mean, it was a top line.
So Doneto raising it up. D-Lou calling with the threes.
He hit the greatest grand slam.
Have we seen Doneto, man? It could be anything with him. It's going to be 2 spades. River Rat with the 2 spades. So I think Doneto's hand is actually showing as Thomas's hand. Because I don't think Thomas is in the hand here. So essentially what happened is the card reader picked up the wrong hand, or his hand got scanned on the wrong reader. So D-Lou's threes are going to be good here. Aces and threes with a king kicker.
Oh my gosh. There it is.
Oh, wait.
Floor, table 9.
Yeah, so Doneto actually, I think, had ace-king here. Oh, Doneto had aces. So it was showing that Thomas was in the hand, and Thomas's cards were 9-8. But we never got to see Doneto's actual card. So that's going to qualify for a high hand. And keep in mind, you do get paid out in straight cash here. So as long as that high hand holds up, this did happen 15 minutes ago, so we're already past 7 o'clock if that's the case. So it's either 1,100 or 1,200. So the Quadzilla for Doneto. 4 aces with a king kicker. Can only be beat by a straight flush. Action on Thomas. Really hasn't been catching cards thus far. Keep in mind it is a 4-hour stream. Jimbo going to be raising it up to 15. So Jimbo with the ace-10 offsuit. Rios going to be calling out of the small blind with the 9-4. Doneto, who just hit the quads, coming along as well. King high flop. Jimbo with the continuation bet. And nobody has much to call him with. So Jimbo will get it through. So almost up to that 20 hand mark. And don't forget about the 2-for-1 time. Sundays and Thursdays. So tomorrow, you can purchase the 2-for-1 time. $100 is the maximum. And you will get $200 worth of time. So Rios putting in the $8 button straddle. Doneto with the ace makes the call. Jimbo with the bigger ace. just makes the call as well. River Rat makes the call. Teddy RG3. Of course, that's a Rounders reference, the movie. And it's going to come jack high. Open ender for Rios. Flush draw for Teddy RG3. And a gut shot for River Rat. Looks like Teddy RG3 going to bet his flush draw. Quick call there from Rios. Doneto with just the ace high doesn't want to let it go. Jimbo with the better ace high makes the call. And River Rat makes the call. So still 5 ways we go to a turn. And the 9 get in there. So that's going to give a straight to Rios, but River Rat's going to have the better straight. And River Rat's going to rip it here. Technically, he's not all in, I think. Okay. So just verifying if he said all in or not. It is hard for the dealers to hear as they are wearing the headsets. So dealer just confirming if he said all in. Kind of a strange spot here for Rios. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He does have the sucker straight. Yeah, and he's going to call it off. He is drawn dead. D-E-D, dead. So Rios, in his mind, wanted to see a 4 or a 9, but it turns out he just wanted to see a 4 as the flush draw got there. So Teddy RG3 going to see he would have got there with the flush. That's why he's shaking his head.
That was a good move you did. That was a good move you did. I had a king high flush.
So dealer will count down the chips. We'll get the River Rat paid. And let's see what these stats flash up here. So raise first in, both Dilu and Rios leading the way there at 20%. We've had 3 players that have not been the first one to raise. SR2, he's kind of like Thomas. He hasn't really caught any cards this first 40 minutes. River Rat has called multiple raises, but has not been the first one to raise. And Teddy RG3 still has not been the first one to raise. Raise first in. Doesn't mean that they haven't raised. Doesn't mean that they haven't called a raise. Just means that they haven't been the initial raiser. And we got the action on SR2, the Vaquero. Jack 7 still kind of card dead. Dilu making the call. Rios with the rebuy, gonna walk it off. Dilu with the suited wing. His spades are live. Jimbo with the best hand right now, the pocket pair.
All right, we got 4 players to the flop.
And it's going to come 9 high. Dilu flopping the best hand with second pair. And it looks like it's going to go check around. To a turn we go. King coming on the turn. Checked around again. queen coming on the river, so Dilu making 2 pair. Might get a call here from Teddy RG3, and that's exactly what happens. Dilu is going to show him the 2 pair. As I said, Dilu slowly climbing out of the hole. All right, this is the pre-flop raise. Dilu topping that as well. Rios in at 15%, and the same 3 players in at 0%. Dilu going to be putting on the Strato. That'll help the VPIP.
Sorry about that, Thomas. We got $6. No, sorry, 6 to play. 6, 4, 7, 4.
So Thomas going to be calling with the 7-5 of spades. SR3 coming along as well, and Dilu with the ace just makes the call. 4 ways we go. 9 times 9 equals $81. And it's going to come ace high. Dilu with the ace, SR2 with the queen. And your pre-flop aggressor, David, flops a gut shot. And he's going to continue on here. Betting under half pot. So Dilu's calling for sure, might be going all in, and he's going to be going all in. It shows he has 240, but that is a lot less than 240 in front of him. Does SR2 look him up? Does have some backdoor clubs, but he knows Dilu has the ace. So it's showing Dilu has 276 in his stack, so obviously that is not correct. So what I'm pretty sure happened, and you can rewind, I cannot, but on a hand that Doneto hit the high hand with aces, his cards never got scanned properly. So it essentially went check down all the way to the river, and it showed, the computer thought that Dilu won that pot with his pocket threes. It was aces and deuces. It was ace, ace, deuce, deuce, king, and nobody had a pair except Dilu. So the computer thought that he won that hand, and it awarded him that pot, and that's why it's showing that Dilu has more chips than he actually has. All right, Thomas with the king 6. Jack 10 suited for SR2. He makes the call. And Dilu's going to check. Paired board. So Thomas betting with the best hand here. So the ace slowing things down, and they actually have the same hand here, as it is 8s and 4s with an ace kicker, and SR2 is going to bluff it. Quick fold by Thomas. Really don't blame him there, but SR2 with the bluff. So the haves and have-nots, it's showing Doneto is up $18, and that is true. But he did hit a bonus of over $1,000, so that bonus was paid out in cash. And that's why his chips, he still has the same amount of chips, 318. Rios making the raise with the 10-8 offsuit. Doneto with the same hand will fold. And River Rat is going to make the call with the ace. Heads up we go, $31 in the pot. And it's going to be king high with 2 6s. Continuation bet here from Rios. River Rat with the ace high. We'll give it up. So the aggression frequency, Dilu leading that way as well, and that's what happens when you are leading in the raising category. That factors into the frequency there.
Yeah, I actually did Georgia. And then they come shit the bet the next game. Yeah, it's Vanderbilt.
So Dilu back in his seat will put on the straddle, and of course that's also factoring in his aggression frequency.
Next week should be good. Texas Dallas. I mean, Texas Georgia.
They never won that, right?
So Teddy RG3 was $7 more for him to call since he was in the big blind, and he does just that. Jimbo away from his seat. Dilu with the queen jack of clubs. So building a pot here in position.
Yeah, that Raven Cowboy help. And then this last week, Cowboy hurt.
So ace on the flop, Teddy RG3 checks it to Dilu. Dilu playing this hand aggressive will continue on with the aggression, and he will take it down. It's hard to make a pair and hold them. Back to the raise first in stat, you can still see we have 3 players that have not been first to raise first in. Waiting for the VPIP to flash up. I'm sure Dilu will be out in front of that stat as well. So under the gun straddle, Rios put it on 6. Action's going to be on Doneto. 8 6 of hearts, pretty hand. And he's going to play the 1 gapper. Dilu with hearts as well. Makes the call. David T with the jack deuce. Folds, and Rios is going to exercise his option with the 10-8 of diamonds. Must be his favorite hand, the 10-8. As he does raise. But everybody's giving him action here. Sometimes you want action, sometimes you don't want action. And Rios is going to be out of position here. Pot should be over $100. It's 102. Rios does have Doneto dominated. And Dilu also has Doneto dominated with the flush draw. And both Rios and Doneto hitting a pair. Rios is going to continue on here. Quick fold from Dilu. So we do not want to see an 8, or Doneto does not want to see an 8. He wants to see a heart. Dilu would have hit his queen. Rios going to slow down. Doneto does as well. And it's going to go check, check on the river. So Rios winning the $222 pot. So I mentioned this earlier. We are on a 15-minute delay. We're on a 15-minute delay, but this action is taking place right now at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley in South Texas. These hands got played 15 minutes ago. Like I said, most poker streams you watch are going to be on some sort of delay. 15 minutes is pretty much standard. That way it prevents any sort of cheating or colluding or anything like that. All right, it's going to be 10 to play as Teddy RG3 put this button straddle on. Rios winning the last hand, going to raise it up with his king, queen. Delu also calling with the king, but he is suited. And David with the best hand, pair of fours, makes the call. And just like that, we got a $140 pot. 1-3, no limit Texas Hold'em. Ace coming on the flop, 2 diamonds, but it is David hitting his set. That's the good news. The bad news is nobody has an ace, nobody has diamonds. It is going to go check around. Diamonds come in on the turn. Rios does have the king of diamonds. He also has a straight draw. He's probably going to be calling this small bet here. Only $35. There was 140 in. So Rios going to be making the call. Has a gut shot straight draw. Has the nut flush draw. And we're going heads up to a river. Rios needing a 10 or a diamond. You can see his outs on the top of your screen. Oh, and the board's going to pair to give David a full house here. I think he's going to size it up. It's $210 in the pot. Bet's just under half pot. Rios only with king high, not going to be able to call here. David was hoping he had an ace, and he would call him. Rios will show the king of diamonds. It looks like we're going to have a dealer change.
All right, everybody, that's my time. See you guys in 1 hour. Thank you guys for the service. Good luck, everybody.
That was a perfect part for me to continue. I already gave up.
Dealer change coming. I believe it is Ash Cash, who was on our stream last Wednesday night. She was playing. Got pretty unlucky there. So dealer change, and yes, indeed, it is Ash Cash. SR2. His first time playing on the stream, but his son, who goes by Dorso, has played on the stream multiple times. And it looked like he was having so much fun on the stream, his dad said, let me try that out. And we are going 5 ways to a flop here. So Ashley's first hand, $75 in the middle. And it's going to come king high with 2 spades. River Rat with the king. SR2 with the 10. And Don Neto with the straight draw. Small bet here coming from River Rat. Backdoor flush draw for Rios, but he's going to let it go. Open ender for Don Neto, does not want to hit a 9. And bottom pair for SR2. Nice fold from him. Don Neto looking for an ace, not a 9. Oh, that's a backwards 9. River Rat sizing it up now. Wanted to see a clean turn and got that clean turn. So dealers do change out every hour on stream. There's the VPIP. There's the stat I was waiting for. Don Neto leading the way. Rios and Dilu also in it over 50%. River Rat just under 50%. Looks like we got Jimbo back. SR2, the lowest at 15%.
I usually come in the mornings. Though. Yeah, usually, you know who's Ruby.
Small raise coming from River Rat with the ace rag. And everybody's going to be calling the raise as we're going 6 ways to a flop. Teddy RG3 with the best hand right now with the pocket 5s. But it's going to come jack high with 2 diamonds. Thomas flopping a flush draw. It's checking around. 8 on the turn. That's going to give Don Neto a pair. Thomas calling with his flush draw. And Teddy RG3 doesn't want to let go of his 5s just yet. Wasn't a 5, it was a 4. So Don Neto's going to wind up with the best hand here. Thomas is going to try to bluff. There's $120 in the pot, and I don't think this sizing's going to work. I don't think the size is going to work. Betting less than half pot with a bluff. He knows his king high is not good. He knows he has to bluff. Like I said, I don't think the size is... Oh, the sizing worked. Little Jedi mind trick there. I'm pretty surprised Don Neto folded, and for any of you watching on the stream, if you've ever played with Don Neto before, you can understand why I thought he was going to call that $40. So Thomas getting the bluff through. Now he's going to be the small blind. No straddle this hand. So you can see SR2 making sure the cards do get picked up on the sensors. As a matter of fact, helping his neighbor out, making sure his neighbor's cards were on the sensors as well. So essentially, the bullseye, the circle within the circle you see in front of each player, that is the RFID reader. These are special cards. They do have chips in them. And that's how we're able to tell what the players are holding. Don Neto taking the king 9, raising it up. Teddy RG3 wanted to play the jack 7. So Don Neto flopping open-ended, and RG3 flopping a pair and a straight draw. Ace of spades. RG3 is going to lead out here. Teddy RG3 Leading out, Doneto still open-ended. We'll make the call. And that jack might get him in trouble, and it's going to get him in trouble. That's going to give Doneto the straight. And 2 pair are going to be no good for Teddy RG3. So the perfect river card coming for Teddy RG3 to lose his chips here, as he hit 2 pair on the river, but it gave a straight to his opponent. Looks like Thomas is putting on the button straddle for 6. And let us see what stats are going to be flashing up here. The pre-flop raise. So this is all types of raises. This is raise first in. This is 3 bets. These are 4 bets. And Rios, who's at the 10-8 a lot, is leading the category there. Jimbo with the queen 5, quick fold. SR2 needs another $3, but he's not going to call. Delu with the king 6 of diamonds makes the call. And even Doneto, who hit the high hand earlier and just won the previous hand, is going to call with the 8-3. Ace high flop coming. You can see RG3's down to about $50. And you can see how good Doneto's running here as he hits a pair of 3s. If the 8 would have come, he would have been out-kicked. Teddy RG3 with the flush draw. Thomas with the straight draw. 4 of hearts. Oh, the hearts get there. And Teddy RG3 going to go all in. He only has, it says 36, but that looks like less than 36. Nobody really has anything to call him with.
You heard me say that, Leon? I've made some comebacks.
Another special every day here at the Texas Card House. Buy 5, get 1 free. So if you're not here on a Sunday or Thursday for the 2-for-1 time, we still got special with times where you buy 5, you get 1 free. Got another appearance from the 8-3. This time it is Jimbo with the double down hand. And Jimbo going to be hitting an 8. Rio's hitting a 9. And Rio's going to be betting just over half pot with his 9. Jimbo with a pair, some backdoor clubs, but we can see that his clubs aren't good. Teddy RG3 has a gut shot. Jack works as well. And there's the jack. So he called to hit a jack. He hits his jack, and he's moving all in. Oh, and he's putting his Oreo in there as well. It might be a tell. No, he takes his Oreo back. So Rio's going to be making the call. Needs a 9 or a 6. And he's not going to get it. So Teddy RG3 is making the comeback. This is a 4-hour stream, so just because somebody starts off bad, they still have a time to make a comeback. Yes, I was asking for the 4 hearts. I mean, I think most people watching want to see blood. Oh, aces for Teddy RG3. Now keep in mind, the big blind is posted. They're not in their seat. Oh, Jimbo raising it up here. So Teddy RG3 going to be putting on the 3-bet here. Oh, and it's small. The size is small. That's definitely going to bring along Jimbo here, as he is going to have position. D-Lou says, why not? And just like that, we have a $141 pot. And we're going to see some blood. Jose wanted to see some blood. We're going to see some blood. Top set for Teddy RG3 and a flush draw for D-Lou. D-Lou has 5 diamonds that he can hit to make his flush. And now he picks up a straight draw. Needs a 4 for a straight. And I think he has to call it off here, and he does. So D-Lou needed a 4 or a diamond. D-Lou hits a 6, but a 6 does not beat a set. So huge comeback for Teddy RG3. D-Lou was starting to work on his comeback. But Teddy RG3 is going to be the one who actually makes the comeback. And I think that might do it for D-Lou. He knows things aren't going his way. Doesn't want to force it. A lot of times when you try to force it, you start playing bad. So Teddy RG3 now is up $173, your second biggest winner thus far.
Let me rephrase the question.
What are you trying to get? I think you can buy a jersey and buy out.
Let me rephrase the question. I mean, I could buy this stuff here at the pro shop at the mall, but does that, I mean, for her first time, I'd rather buy it there, you know? Yeah. At the mall, right? Yeah. So buy her, and then, because I know she wants one of those pens.
So I believe we have a $10 straddle under the gun. Thomas with the King Jack of Spades raising it up. It's basically a min raise. Like the idea about the raise, don't like the sizing. Although he's going to get a call here, and he will have position. King high flop. Immediate fold by David T. As he totally missed.
I'm fully integrated to the roach with the head now. I had Tiger Rocket.
So as the straddles continue on here, all right, here's the V-pip. Doneto tops. Still showing D-Lou is in the system, but we do have a seat open. So seat open, I don't know if anybody's waiting. So $6 to go. Excuse me, $7 to go under the gun straddle. Yes, we do have 5 players waiting, so that seat will get filled. We do have 5 players waiting on the list here. It is the Baker. The Baker's number 1 up. So Thomas with the raise gets a call from the straddle once again, and he's going to flop a straight draw. And it's hard to make a pair. Thomas will put on the continuation bet. And that's going to get him to Profitville as he's in for 300. So he's winning 13 bucks. And it looks like we do have somebody taking seat 5. We will get his information down. If you've never played on a poker stream before, it's very important that you let the dealer know how much you're buying in for, how much you're adding on. And that's how they're able to keep track of the stats. You can see the dealer does have a headset on, and they do relay this information to the production crew. And we do have Brittany, part of the production crew tonight. And looks like it's going to be Leo. So I believe Leo played on the stream last Wednesday night and was sitting in the same seat. So the seat selection is normally random. Obviously, in this case, there's only 1 seat open. That's the seat he has to take. But at the very beginning of the stream, there are cards that the players draw that determine where they're going to sit. And that's also pretty standard for most streams. You don't get to pick your seat. It's kind of like a tournament. It gets assigned to you. Doneto still on his smoke break. Leo not playing his first hand. Ace-high flop. Nobody with an ace, nobody with a queen, nobody with a 4. It's hard to make a pair and hold them. Jack of hearts coming on the turn. It's going to give some people a straight draw. And it gives Teddy RG3 a pair. And he will bet the pair and get called by the gut shot of River Rat. River Rat does not hit his gut shot on the river. And I believe it's going to go check, check. So Teddy RG3 showing the jack. Like I said, he did make a comeback as he was down to less than $50 early on. Decided not to rebuy, decided not to add on. Took the $50, ran it up to $444. He has 44444 in his stack. So even though Doneto is not in his seat, he still gets posted. This is something different for the stream here. The reason why, the way the software works, the action tracker, it assumes everybody is in their seats. So this is kind of like a tournament as well, where you are going to get dealt in. The players are aware that they will get blinded out. Now on the main floor, the normal 1-3 cash game, if you're not at your seat, you do not get blinded out. So this is something unique to the stream. So 4 ways to the flop we go. It's actually $15 in the middle because the big blind got posted. And it's going to be jack high with 2 hearts. Rio's going to be leading here with second pair. SR2 hidden top pair. We'll be calling the 15. River Rat And Teddy RG3 folding, so now we are heads up to a $45 pot. Rios looking for an 8 or a 5. The heart does show up, which actually gives him more outs. That gives him outs for a straight draw, outs for a flush draw. SR2 with the bet. And Rios going to need a heart, a 5, an 8, or a 7. And he's going to get a heart. He only has a 5 high flush, but he's the only one with a heart. And he's going to win with the 5. So Don Neto is back. He will be small blind this coming hand. And Rio's going to put on the straddle. It's going to be a $6 button straddle. There's the pre-flop raisin set. Leo, who just sat down in seat 5, is at 0%. And I can guarantee you that is not going to stay at 0% for very long. SR2. Will fold. And there you go. Leo making the raise. Don't know what he has. Makes it 20. Rio's going to be calling, as is Don Neto. So we are going 3 ways to a flop of $63. As the graphics do catch up. Leo with the ace has the best hand right now. Don Neto with the worst hand. Jack high, 2 spades. Rios hitting a 5, but Leo hitting top pair. Rios making a pair. And as I've mentioned multiple times tonight, it's hard to make a pair. And Don Neto might be having some plans here, as he also makes the call. So now Don Neto making a pair. It's actually a jack high flop. So the board reader catching something wrong. It's a jack high flop. So Don Neto will be winning here with an 8. So that's not an ace on the board. You can see the card reader picking up something wrong. And it looks like we have Jimbo coming back in his seat. Rios showing his 5s, but they're not going to be good. I don't think an 8 was on the turn. So card reader picking up something wrong there. It does happen every once in a while. All right, Jimbo back in his seat. Jimbo. And action's going to be on SR2, picking up the Cowboys. And he's just going to limp, set in the trap, and Leo's going to fall into it. As is Teddy RG3. How much is he going to re-raise it to here? Oh, he's only calling. Wow. So very, very underrepresented are the kings here. And the ace coming right on the flop. Teddy RG3 flopping a flush draw. And it's the kings leading out. So very interesting line coming from SR2 here. I'm sure SR3's taking notes right now. So Jimbo hitting a jack, Leo hitting an ace, Teddy RG3 hitting a flush draw. 8 on the turn. It's a queen on the turn. And looks like Leo's gonna bet $60 here. 65. Flush draw gonna be calling him. Jimbo gonna be getting out of the way. And SR2 picking up a straight draw with the kings. 10 of spades for blood. 8 of spades. King of spades. Teddy RG3 needs a spade. Oh, and it is the 10 of spades. So SR2 hitting his straight. Oh, and it goes check through. Wow, Teddy RG3 could have made some money with a bet on the river, but he was happy with the $400 pot. So no blood this hand, even though I thought we got the perfect river. Leo going to be putting on the $10 under the gun straddle. Action's going to be on River Rat, seat 6, 10 to come in. AC Deucey, no sir. Teddy RG3, just winning the last hand, going to try to make it 2 in a row. It's $10. The dealer will let him know it is $10. Don Neto calling with the king queen. And Leo checking. So Don Neto with the best hand right now needs to avoid a 10 or a 5. And there's the 10. So flush draw for Leo, top pair for Teddy RG3, and a gut shot for Don Neto, who will put out a $15 bet. So turn goes check, check. The river coming the king, so Don Neto getting there on the river. But it's actually Leo with the flush. So Leo with the queen high flush here. It was the king of diamonds. And let's see if Don Neto pays him off. See, this is why I didn't think Thomas's bet would have worked earlier when he bet that really small amount on the river. You can see Don Neto calling with just the pair of kings, 4 diamonds on the board. But Thomas earlier was able to do some sort of Jedi mind trick to get him to fold a pair. So 3 players in the red. Don Neto showing that he's in the red, but he did hit the high hand for over $1,000. SR2 got his kings cracked. And Rios, the 10-8. He's been playing that hand a lot tonight. Yes, I do agree that there has been some passive play tonight. For SR2, I kind of understand it's his first time on the stream. So, gonna play a little more passively. I think in general that's what you see. As we are going heads up to a flop. even with the passive play, the hand that he lost, it was still a $400 hand, which is a really big pot for a 1-3 game. I mean, that's over a buy-in right there. So we have a flush draw for Jimbo and River Rat with top pair. Three on the turn. River Rat did lead the flop and got raised, so now he's going to slow down. Jimbo bet in 75. River Rat quickly reaching for chips and makes the call. So Jimbo gonna have to empty out the clip if he doesn't hit a club. Jimbo gonna have to pick a very small size if he wants to get called. Like $100, one of your stacks. We saw him make a bet like this earlier where he basically put out most of his stack. And at least for me, that's actually a pretty strong play when you put in half your stack as opposed to going all in. Just because if you're bluffing, you're not going to bluff off half your stack. You're just going to go with it. The queen is on there. There's a 10 also makes a straight. River Rat should be able to get away from this. Doesn't mean he is. But there's a lot of things out there that beat him. The queen beats him. Any 10 beats him. Clubs beat him. Now, he is from Oklahoma, too, so he doesn't believe the Texas boy. Hey, Texas beats Oklahoma. That's a preview for Saturday. So Trailblazer coming up next week in Austin. I know Rebel Poker had planned for it, but looks like those plans fell through. We will be hosting one of the stops at the end of December, the last week of December. Trailblazer stop will be here in the Rio Grande Valley. We do have a lot of mild winters down here in South Texas. Get snow every 100 years. Oh, ace, king of diamonds for David. He's been a little bit quiet. He's going to take it up to 15. I might have gone 20 just because there was a caller in between. But look at this. Doneto with a suited ace as well. But his kicker's a 10. Of course, the king is better than the 10. David's going to be putting on the 4-bet here. River Rat with the suited cards. Finally lets it go. So Doneto with 155. He just might put them all in here. And he's just going to put them all in here. Didn't want to guess on a size-in. They're asking once or twice, but Doneto, he's old school. He goes once. He's old school. One time. What's this deal with 2 times, he says. Of course, he's saying that in Spanish. Oh, wow. That is a crazy flop. So Doneto getting lucky, and you can only get lucky once. That's why you run it once. He shows the 10. And David seeing the bad news. So it looks like RG3 has a fan in the chat. So RG3, the R and the G, his initials, and the 3, he is a third. And he has the Oreo cookie, so he decided to go with Teddy RG3 tonight, and it seems to be working. Leo with the $10 straddle. $7 more for Teddy RG3 to call. Rio's now with the ace 10, just makes the call. Doneto just won last 10. Will try to make it 2 in a row with the jack 9. And Leo checks his option. So $34 in the pot. Let's see 3. Ace, jack 10. 2 pair for Rios. Middle pair for Doneto. And a big nothing burger for Leo. Rios just making the call. And that's going to be a bad turn for Rios, as he does check. Any king makes a straight. Backdoor spades get there as well, but he's going to bet. Try to win some chips for a massage. Oh, he's going to win those chips. 99 chips and a massage. Yes, it looks like Rios going to be relaxing. So biggest winner tonight is Teddy RG3, as David T taking the bad beat with the ace king versus ace 10. Jimbo up 300 early on, has pretty much maintained that. Leo late to the show, but he is up about $100. Doneto not only up to $72, but up over $1,000 because he hit the high hand, which is still going on right now. Even though he hit it, it's still available for at least $100. Maybe it's up to $200 by now. And David T with the suited king, raising it up. And David getting no action with his suited king. So Teddy RG3, your biggest winner thus far tonight, and your best compliment in the chat thus far tonight. Doneto with the 8-6. Never know what he's going to do. He makes the call. Jimbo also making the call. Leo with the suited jack, raising it up. River Rat with the ace makes the call. Teddy RG3 with the jack 9, playing his button. Rios with the clubs coming along. And both Doneto and Jimbo, the limpers, will make the call. And just like that, we have $91 in the pot, and the best hand right now is ace deuce offsuit. Doneto with the 8-6, flopping trips. Leo flopping a flush draw. He was your initial raiser, and he's going to bet out just under half pot, $40. Gut shot straight draw for Teddy RG3, and looks like he's going to pay to C1. He's going to need a 10 for a gut shot. Does Doneto check raise? I just said it before he called the $3 with the 8-6. Never know what he's thinking. He just makes the call. So 3 ways to a turn we go. Over $200 in the middle. Oh, and it's a 10 of diamonds. That's going to make the flush for Leo. It's going to give the straight to Teddy RG3. And we're about to see a big pot here as Leo is going to be betting about half pot. Just under half pot. Oh, and Teddy RG3 is getting ready to double up Leo. Let's see if Doneto gets sticky with his 8 here. A lot of things that beat him. Oh, he's getting sticky with the 8. So Teddy RG3 is drawn dead. Oh, Leo folded? Wow, Leo folding the best hand, and he's going to see what Teddy RG3 has. I totally understand the fold, as somebody should have better than the Jack-High flush here, but nobody does. And somehow, Teddy RG3 is going to win this hand. He was drawn dead on the turn, but once Leo folded, it brought him back to life. And now Leo is looking at what happened, and he is saying, he's saying something that is R-rated.
But after that, I'm not. Yeah, and I was gonna say that makes it super every. Maybe one, I don't know.
When he was stuttering like that.
So everybody in the chat making comments about Teddy RG3. So if you rewind and see when the turn came out, he was drawn dead when the turn came out. And of course, that's assuming that it goes check, check to the river. That's assuming that everybody sees the river. But that was not the case, as Leo folded his flush.
Him reshoving when we started it. Yeah. I can be one, I can be two. We have a few savers.
I think that was a fucking already won $1,000.
Yeah, he won the high hand.
That's what his ace.
So seat open as Doneto. Even though it's going to show at the end of the night he lost, he actually won over $1,000 in cash by hitting a high hand. And you got to saw it on stream as he hit quad aces earlier for the high hand. I do know we have a list. Looks like we have Frank, Alejandro, Pedro on the list. So we'll see if they're in the building. Ace high flop, 2 clubs. David T with the 2 clubs. And he should be putting out a bet here, probably about 35. Just a quarter, really sizing it down. So both River Rat and Teddy RG3 hitting a king. And they're both going to be calling. It's a black card, but it is a spade. So the king jack of Teddy RG3 still out in front. And ace coming on the river. So the jack kicker will play. But it is River Rat who puts out a bet here. Teddy RG3 still has David to worry about. If that wasn't the case, he would probably call. So the second time in as many hands as we see a player that's drawn dead win the pot. Keep in mind, those stats are just based upon if the hands go to showdown. So no showdown there. This is not the showdown stat. Oh, this is the showdown stat. So you can see Leo's hitting at 60%, which is a really big number. He's only played 11 hands, though. But Teddy RG3's in at almost 50%, which is a big showdown number. So SR2 with the suited connectors. The Vaquero. Leo raising it to 13 with the Queen 7 of diamonds. David making the call. Rios with the Queen 4. Will fold. Thomas 9 deuce folding. And Jimbo with the natural 8 makes the call. 3 ways we go to a $40 pot. Quick fold by Jimbo. Leo hit a middle pair. Puts out the continuation bet. It looks like David's going to be floating here. High. Hoping that Leo checks the turn. David now hitting a pair, but he does check. And it's going to go check to the river as well. So I think David had some plans on the turn, but he actually hit a pair, so he decided to slow down. I think his plan was to bluff on the turn if his opponent checked, but then he hit a pair, so now he had showdown value. So no need to bluff when you might have the best hand, and that's exactly what happened. So still have seat 1 open, but I'm pretty sure it's going to get taken. And it's going to be a $10 under the gun straddle. Leo putting it on, and action will be on seat 6, River Rat. Teddy RG3 not in his seat. He will get folded. David T with the 3s. Going to go set mining. And Jimbo with the 9s. Makes it 30. Too small of a size and out of position, as he's going to get calls from both players. Leo calling with the 6 deuce offsuit. And it's going to come jack high, 2 clubs. So 2 overcards for Jimbo. And he's going to check, not knowing if his 9s are good. Looks like it's going to go check all the way to the river. Leo, I was going to say Leo might bluff here, but it goes check all the way to the river. So Jimbo raising out of the small blind, getting calls by 2 players, and then they check it all the way down. Somebody in the chat mentioned it earlier. A bit on the passive side. Jimbo will put on the $10 on the button. So SR2, he's the second, a junior named after his father. And then Teddy RG3, he's named after his father's father.
No, it's race first. Race first. See what they come up with. The chip is RFID chip.
They have an app.
Yeah, you can.
I think they have to make it available back there.
No, it's already have an account. You can do it.
Figure out how to do it so I cancel.
Nobody with a pair.
Well, that's Mike.
And it's going to be the king of spades on the turn. It's going to give Jimbo a flush draw and a straight draw. But it is SR2 betting his threes, which is currently the best hand. Jimbo makes the call. Jimbo's going to miss. Tiny bet from SR2. And he's going to get it through. Bluffing with the best hand. Some sort of raise, no, aggression frequency. So about 2 hours into tonight's stream, when we get to the 2 hour mark, the dealers will change once again, as the initial dealer who started us off at 6 o'clock, Jeremiah, will tap out Ash Cash. And it looks like we have somebody taking seat 1, and it's going to be Mike. Miguel en español. Obviously, Mike is a common name, so I don't know which Mike this is. Teddy RG3 making the call. David T with the fold. And it is T-Mobile Mike. So 3 ways to a flop we go. And it's going to be Jack High with 2 diamonds. Thomas still with the best hand. Only 1 overcard to worry about. We'll put out a small bet. And that's going to get it done. So Mike actually played on our stream on Friday nights. We stream on the main channel for Texas Card House. This is the secondary channel. So if you are watching this stream on a different platform besides YouTube, I do know we stream on the Facebook and Twitch and a couple of others. But there are 2 different YouTube channels. The main channel is TCH Live, and the secondary channel is Texas Card House. So Wednesday nights we stream on this channel, the secondary channel. Keep in mind, all of the card houses, all of the Texas card houses do stream on both channels. Then on Fridays, we are on the main channel, TCH Live. So Mike was here on Friday playing Omaha, and he was up over $1,000, less than 10 hands in. And that's not how he wound up, though. So ace high flop, any 3 making a straight, but it is Rios that hits a set, and he's going to put out a small bet, hoping somebody has an ace, but nobody does. Here's the VPIP, and Mike, who just sat down, has seen 2 hands, has played 1 of them, so that equals 50%. Rios has seen 50 hands, and he's played half of them. Teddy RG3, very close to 50%. Leo River Rat also in the 40s. Queen Jack offsuit for Rios. There is a $10 button straddle. Looks like he's going to raise it. to 30. Leo also with the queen going to be coming along. And River Rat will defend his straddle. 3 ways to a flop we go of $94 in the middle. And it's going to come jack high. Both Rios and Leo hitting a pair. River Rat hitting a straight draw. Ace on the turn, nobody with an ace, but Rios going to put out a tiny bet here. $15 into $94. Leo going to make the call, as does River Rat. So River Rat looking for a 9. Backdoor diamonds get there. Another small bet coming from Rios. And everybody will fold. Looks like we got no straddle this hand. Rio's the winner of last hand. It's going to be the big blind, which will put action on seat 1, Mike. So the player to the left of the dealer is seat number 1, and then it goes in that order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and depending if you're playing 8-handed or 9-handed or 10-handed, then that last player to the right of the dealer would be the highest number. Leo making it 15 with the natural 9. Teddy RGV calling, as does Rios. And we're going 3 ways to a flop. And it's going to come jack high. So Teddy RG3 flopping top pair. And Leo puts out the continuation bet. So Leo needed some help, and that's not going to be it. He's not going to take his foot off the gas, though. Insta call here from Teddy RG3. Leo going to have to bet pretty big on the river if he wants this bluff to work. And he's got the right card to do it. I just don't know if he has enough chips to get Teddy RG3 to fold. Sizing might be too small here. And he will get shown the jacks. So Teddy RG3, your big winner tonight so far. It's probably the raise. No, went to showdown. Leo in at 55%, Teddy RG3 in at 50%. It looks like Leo's going to be added on. So as they get the add-on taken care of, don't forget about our Friday night tournament. Every Friday at 6 p.m., super popular, and from what I've been told, a little birdie told me that that this is getting ready to turn into a free roll. So right now it's $20 buy-in, but I have been told that it is going to be changing to a free roll. So $10 button straddle. Action on Mike. Jimbo making the call with the ace-3 Baskin Robbins. Teddy RG3 just calling with the suited ace. And he's the one that's on the button, so something reading a little bit wrong here, as he was the one that put on the $10 button straddle. So I don't know if he has the ace 10 or the jack 10. But Jimbo will put out a small bet and get it done with his ace high. So those are the winners thus far, halfway into the stream. Teddy RG3 up over 1,000. David and Jimbo both up over a buy-in. And Thomas with a small win. Everybody else in the red, as Don Neto is not showing in the red. He did bust earlier. And Dilu also not showing, as some players have taken those seats. So exactly 2 hours into tonight's stream, the dealer will change out again.
I guess we'll figure it out.
Jeremiah back dealing. His friends call him Jerry. His enemies call him Scary Jerry. So still 2 hours to go on the stream. A lot of times these players will play after the stream is over. So making sure, making sure the button's on seat 8. Yeah, so that's why the graphics popped up wrong there. So no straddle this hand. Action's going to be on Thomas. Thomas with the ace. Looks like he's going to call it $3, as does Jimbo. SR2 has been pretty card dead. Teddy RG3 with the suited ace just makes the call. Rios with the 10-7 needs $2 more and puts out those $2. And Mike checks his option with the AC Deucey. So 5 ways to the flop we go. $15 in the middle. And it's going to come jack high. Nobody with the jack, but Rios with the 7. So he has second pair. And everybody checks. 4 of spades coming on the turn, so that's going to give a flush draw and a straight draw to Teddy RG3. And one person folding, so now we're 4 ways to a river. And the jack will pair the board. Rios with the best hand here, as nobody has that jack. And nobody really has anything to call him with. So Friday's $20 tournament, 2,000 guaranteed prize pool, 20K starting stack every Friday at 6 p.m. And then we run it back on Sundays at 4 p.m. Also on Sundays, we do have the football squares for the Sunday night game. And you can qualify during the week for the football squares. 100 squares available. You must show a full house or better to receive a football square. I believe we have 2 or 3 regular 1-3 games running on the main table. It's 3. So we have 3 tables on the main table, 1-3 no limit hold'em. The same game. The only difference is, well, the main difference is the buy-in is a minimum 100. The minimum buy-in here is 300.
Hands up action.
So Mike betting his 2 pair, getting called by the top pair of River Rat. River Rat needed an ace, a 5, or a 3. Let's see if he lives up to his name. Does not. And looks like Mike is going to continue on here. We saw River Rat pay off a river bet earlier from Jimbo. Will he pay off another bet? As Mike bet in just under a third of the pot. So River Rat was wrong earlier. He does have an ace. His kicker is not very good, but he's going to pay it off once again. And he will see the 2 pair of T-Mobile Mike. That's actually, I believe, for the Dallas. Yeah, that's an event coming up in Dallas as they're getting ready to celebrate their anniversary.
Remember those ones used to be so easy, you know, just cash nowadays? You always have one pot.
All right, a little lag on the internet, but we are back as Teddy RG3 with the ace jack of clubs, making it 15. Rios just calling with the queens, as does Mike. Thomas with the suited ace-7, and Jimbo also has a suited ace-7. Jimbo's diamonds are live. And it's going to come 10 deuce deuce. Real good flop for the queens. And Rio's going to be leading here for $30. Teddy RG3 not done with the hand yet. Doesn't want to fold the big ace.
Barrows, table 9.
And another good card for Rios, which should mean another bet coming from Rios. Looks like 50. Or is it 60? It's 60. Teddy RG3 with just the ace high is going to have to let it go. And he finally does. So Rios with the win. He's still in the negative, but that's going to get him closer to get out of the hole. Shots fired. And Teddy RG3 still up over 1,000. Leo put in the $10 straddle on under the gun. Riverette, who just added on for $100. Action will be on him.
$10 bonus straddle. Action starts in
And he's going to min raise it. So somebody's card's not scanning properly, and that is why we do not know what Riverette has yet. Rios makes the call.
Oh, there it is.
Thomas also making the call.
My boy Mookie.
And Jimbo going to be putting on the 3-bet. Sizing a little bit small here. It looks like 60. So the dealer letting the production crew know the action. And the action should be catching up here pretty quick. So the dealer does pause the action at the table to let the computer catch up.
Now it's for sure. Game 2 also.
I'm kind of interested to see what Riverette has here. Min raising under the gun. So somebody's card's not getting scanned properly, and that's why the graphics haven't got caught up. They will get the players to scan their cards properly, and the graphics should be catching up right now. All right, let's try that again. The graphics should be catching up right now. There you go. Riverette with the 9s. That is what he min raised with. Rios calling with the Jack 9. So Jimbo has minimum ace queen suited. Oh, got it. He has the minimum ace queen suited.
One color I call. I'm just kidding, relax. 50 thing I was sick.
And here we go. Rios does fold to the 3-bet, as does Thomas. And we're going heads up, ace queen versus 9s. The 9's out in front right now, but you can see the ace queen has the best equity as Rios folding a 9.
heads up action.
Let's go.
Jimbo keeping the pressure on, but Riverette deciding to go with his 9s, and Jimbo's going to have to get lucky. Ace or a queen for an immediate out, or he could also go runner straight. So Jimbo needed an ace, a queen, a deuce, a 5. That's not it. And that's not it either. So Riverette, who just added on, will be doubling up with the 9s. Dealer will get it counted down. And as the dealer's counting it down, would like to remind you about the 2-for-1 time tomorrow here at the Texas Card House, all day Thursday and Sunday. So normally it is $12 an hour to play, which is separate. That does not get taken out of the pot. It is not a rake.
There you go, Will.
So Jimbo just losing the last hand. We'll put on the straddle.
We have a $10 button straddle. Action
So $10 button straddle action is going to be on SR2. It's been pretty card dead tonight. And he's going to continue on with the bad cards. And Leo going to take the 8-4 of diamonds and raise it up. David calling here thinking that he has live cards, but that is not the case. Rios also calling with the Jack 9. And Jimbo gonna call as well with his 7-8. So the best hand right now actually belongs to Rios with the Jack 10. Leo has David dominated, but Jimbo has Leo dominated. Leo flopping a flush draw, and he's going to continue on here. Rio's flopping middle pair. Also has some backdoor straight draws. Pretty big bet here of 75. And that's going to get the job done for Leo. Betting his flush draw, folding out the best hand. Also tomorrow, during the day, play 1 hour, get 3 hours for free. This is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Before 12 noon, play 1 hour, get 3 hours for free. Great promo there. So essentially you're getting 4 hours for the price of one. So that's $3 an hour, according to my public education math. The jacks for David. Takes it up to 15. And we are going three ways. 10-7 suited for Rios. The dog for Jimbo, the canine.
We have 3 players.
Huge flop for David T, and he's going to check it as he flops a full house. 9 of hearts for fun. So Rios needed a 9 for a straight, but as you can see, everybody is drawn dead, and David is hoping somebody has an 8 or a deuce, as he's going to put out $50. So David going to get a football square. The bad news is nobody had an 8 or a deuce. The good news is he's going to pick up a football square for the Sunday night game. And just like the high hands have rollovers, so do the football squares. So you earn a square. And you will have a chance to win at least $250. $10 button straddle. Leo put it on the $10. Action will be on River Rat. As I said earlier, he is from Oklahoma. Former Oklahoma resident, former Winter Texan, or as they call them in Florida, the Snowbirds. We do have a big population down here in this area, where you have people from the Midwest. When it gets cold there, they come down here. And as I said, we do have a lot of mild winters. Normally temperatures in December, January, February down here are in the 80s. So nobody hitting a pair, and it's going to go check, check. Still nobody with a pair. Teddy RG3 is thinking about bluffing, but he will check. Leo checks behind. Board pairing on the river. And it's going to go check, check. Ace-high will be good. There's the VPIP. Rios leading the way, over 55%.
Pick any one of those.
And David T will take care of his football square. SR2, he's over 10% on the VPIP, but not much.
Safety or like
You have a $7 straddle. Actually starts in a smoke light.
So straddle is on. Rios away from his seat. He would have called. Mike makes the call with the 7-5. Thomas raising it up to 20 with the suited king. Oh, Leo with the aces. Taking it up to 65. And right behind him, River Rat with the ace king. Just makes the call. And Thomas going to be calling with the king 10 of diamonds. 40% to a royal. But you can see he's in very bad shape here. So Leo with the aces, way out in front. And it's going to come all clubs. He has 2 black aces. So he was 82% before the flop. Now he's at 99%. Hoping somebody has an overpair. Hoping somebody has like 9s, 10s, or jacks here. Or the king of clubs. River Rat looks like he's not ready to give up with this ace king. It's a good thing he doesn't have a king in his hand. Is he raising here? Wow, he puts in the raise. And Leo's going to put them all in. So even if Leo's against a set here, he still has outs. You can see he is now 100% to win the pot. The second time he has been at 100% on the turn. Well, actually, this is on the flop. I don't know if River Rat misread his hand, but now he's going to see he does not have the king of clubs. So he should be done with this hand, and he is. So Leo showing the aces. So Friday, 2,000 guaranteed tournament. Saturday, deep stack tournament. Sunday, 4 p.m. tournament. And Monday, mystery bounty. No, wait. Monday, regular bounty, excuse me. So, something for everybody here at the Texas Card House. You like playing cash game, you like playing tournaments, we got you covered. Or you like a good deal, we got dollar beer. That's right, dollar draft beer here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Mike with the 5-3. King Jack of Hearts for Leo, just had the aces. River Rat called him last time. Oh, David T with the kings. Looks like he's going to make it like 65. Makes it 65. Rios with the hearts. If Rios was last to act, I could see him calling, but he does have 2 players behind him, so he makes the fold. Leo just won with the aces. Looks like he's going to try to make it 2 in a row here. River Rat making the quick fold. Leo does not want to hit a king here. ace coming. David does have the king of diamonds. He's going to put out a small bet here, the down bet. Leo probably puts him on the ace. Leo does not have the king of diamonds, but he's going to, is he going to raise here? Oh, he's raising here. So David with the down bet. Leo does not think he has the ace with that down bet, and Leo's right. 75 more for David to call. Like I said, David does have the king of diamonds. And it looks like David's going to put on the re-raise. He does have the king of diamonds. So both these players, bit of a level war here. So nice play by both players. But it is David T who's going to get the win. It's one of those he knows that I know that he knows. So still over with the $1,000 win, Teddy RG3. David T making that good play with the Kings. That puts him up over 500. T-Mobile Mike up 50. And Jimbo losing the big pot with the ace queen of diamonds. Took away most of his profit. $15 raise from Leo with the king 9. And looks like he's going to tangle again with David T. T-Mobile Mike defending the big blind. And away we go. Ace-high flop. David T getting the better flop once again. Leo with the continuation bet. I'm not going to shake David T, but it will shake T-Mobile Mike. Wing on the turn, $106 in the pot. And Leo's not done as he puts out $80. He actually told David T he just had king high last hand. So David T's thinking he's not going to bluff me again, or he's not going to try to bluff me again. And Leo says, yes, I am, showing him the bluff. So it should be interesting to follow that dynamic between Leo and David T. We saw him a couple of hands ago level each other. And Leo showing David T that he's here to play tonight. So it looks like we do have a $6 button straddle. Rio's put it on the $6. Action's going to be on T-Mobile Mike. Ace King of Diamonds. Looks like he's going to min raise it. Min raises it to 12 here. Leo coming along. And Rios calls the extra $6 with the ace. So Rios in bad shape here as his ace is dominated. Leo with 2 live cards. And Leo's gonna flop open ender. A king makes him a straight, an 8 makes him a straight. Mike is gonna slow down. Mike needing a 10 for his straight. Mike misses. So Leo gonna be betting again. Mike does not want to fold ace king suited, but this board is not good for his hand. And Leo gonna get another bluff through. Pre-flop raising, no surprise there. Leo leading the way, and leading the way by a good margin, by 20%. Mike is in at second. David T's also in there. You can see SR2 still in at 0%, as the only hand he's really had was the kings, and he limped with the kings, and then he only called when somebody raised. As I said, it is his first time on the stream. Playing a little passive. He's also a little card dead. Put those together, and that's where you get the 0% raise in pre-flop. Leo raising with the ace-jack. This time he has the best hand. Jimbo going to be making the call with the king 10 of diamonds. So $76 in the middle. Top pair for Jimbo. David T with the tray. And he's going to bet it in possession here. Jimbo calling, losing a customer. And Leo not done with the ace-jack yet. And that's going to bring along River Rat as well. So River Rat looking for a spade. Jimbo looking for a 10. Ace coming on the turn. Let's see if that gets Leo in trouble. As it's going to go check around here. So Leo's probably going to be leading this river. And David T is just going to call him. David T trying to bring Jimbo along here. But I think Jimbo realizing that somebody has an ace. And he doesn't want to fold, but the way the action is here, somebody has an ace. Oh no, he makes the call. So David T's going to show trips, and everybody's going to be surprised. So really no flush draws missed, really no straight draws missed. So should have been, in my opinion, an easy fold for Jimbo, but sometimes you just want to see. Sometimes you don't believe them. Leo going to be putting on $9 under the gun.
Not 1.5. We gotta get some fireworks up here.
It's been a while since we've had a huge hand. This $9 will start us off. River Rat, 9-10 suited. We'll call the 9. Teddy RG3 making the fold, as does David T and Rios. T-Mobile Mike with the 4s. Calls the 9. Thomas with the ace-queen suited. So we might see a big hand here. Second time Jimbo calls out of turn. Jimbo also with the 4s. So kind of bad luck for him, as both Mike has a 4. And you can see their percentages of winning here are 4% and 7%. Jimbo does have hearts, and that's why he does have a higher percentage. Jack high flop, 2 hearts. The 4's still out in front somehow, some way. Not anymore, as the king of hearts is going to hit Leo. Gut shot, straight draw for River Rat, but a heart will make a flush for somebody else. And it looks like Leo's going to win this pot. Yeah, Leo's going to take it down. So the players are not mic'd, but there are 2 microphones above the table. And sometimes if the players are a little loud, you can hear the table conversation, but that's normally not the case. So we do have a button straddle. Jimbo putting on a button straddle. The $1 is the small blind of SR2. The $3 is the big blind of Leo. The dealer will get it sorted out and start pitching the cards. Action's going to be on SR2. Jack 9 of diamonds. It's a pretty hand. He agrees. He makes the call. Leo with a better jack. A queen jack, and he's going to make the raise. Be 38 special. River Rat with the 10s. So the hands keep getting better. Jack 9, queen jack, 10's the best hand right now, and he's just going to call. Rios with the jack 6 of hearts. So 3 players with jacks, 1 player with diamonds, 1 player with hearts. Be kind of gross if the last jack shows up. Would that be the jack of spades? And it's going to come king high 2 diamonds, SR2 with the 2 diamonds. And he's going to lead right out here. Betting the flush draw to 55. So about a 1/3 size pot bet. River Rat with only 121 left in his stack. So pretty much most of his chips here. Gonna have to either fold or go all in. You can see it's pretty much half his stack here. But he's just gonna call. The passive play continues. Jack of Spades still live, right? Yeah, the Jack of Spades is still live. King coming on the turn. SR2 just going to put River Rat all in here. And let's see if River Rat is able to call for the rest of his chips. So River Rat has $66 in his stack. SR2 betting 65. I don't think that was by design. It just happened. And River Rat's, as I said, once he called the flop, you're pretty much committed, whether you like it or not. So SR2 needed a diamond or the Jack of Spades. And it's the diamond. So SR2, I believe this is the first pot of the night he's winning. If not, it's the first pot in quite a while, as he has been card dead. But he will win the $400 pot. I think he's only in for 300, so that's gonna get him into Profitville. Said earlier he has the vaquero look. The local university down here, a branch of the University of Texas, UT RGV. The mascot is the Vaqueros.
Barrows, table 9.
River Rat will be rebuying. So a Vaquero is actually the original Cowboys. So a cowboy is actually an Americanized version of a vaquero. So River Rat rebuying. Action on tonight's big winner, Teddy RG3. And it looks like he's just going to limp. Quick fold from David T. Rios raising it up with the natural 9. Mike making the immediate call with the 7s. And Jimbo with the aces. So the third time we see Jimbo bet about half his stack. And every time he's been super strong. SR2 just won the last hand and has the 3s. We'll be letting it go. Rios making the call with his natural 9, 4 or 5 of clubs. And Mike calling with his pocket pair. So you can see the pot's already $172. Jimbo has less than a pot size bet left. And it's pretty much going all in no matter what comes on the flop. Queen 8-8, 2 spades. And there's the all in. It's actually less than 100. So something on the tracker picked up wrong at one time. Mike might call here with the pocket pair. It's only $72. But he does make the good fold, and Jimbo does not show.
7 high's good.
Leo going to be putting on the $8 button straddle. Raise first in. A pre-flop raise. So Leo leading the way over a third of the time. Raising pre-flop. You can see we have 4 players in it less than 10%. 1 player in it 0%. So $9. The max you can do is 10. The minimum you can do is 6. Leo decides on 9. It's actually the same amount he straddled under the gun a couple of hands ago. So the dealer letting SR2 know that the big chips need to be on top or in front of the stack. Mike making the call of the straddle with the queen 9. Jimbo does the same with the jack 7. And Leo's going to check his option with the best hand. Ace high flop, 2 clubs, straight draw for Leo, and a backdoor flush draw. So Leo with the pair and the flush draw. Pretty much has the hand locked up, and he will take it down. Nice hand. If you're just joining us tonight, welcome to the Texas Card House. We are in the Rio Grande Valley tonight, located in South Texas, 3 hours directly south of San Antonio. We are one of 6 Texas Card House locations in the state of Texas. And we have a $20 straddle coming from seat 9, Rios. Of course, if you translate that to English, that'll be Rivers. Action's going to be on T-Mobile Mike. It looks like River Rat trying to put on $10 on the button, but they will let him know under the gun has priority. Thomas with the suited 7-8 makes the call. Leo gets out of the way. River Rat with the A6 with the best hand. Teddy RGV also with suited connectors. And Rios with the better spades. So Thomas is in really bad shape here. His spades are dominated and his 8 is dominated. Ace high flop. River Rat with the ace. Looks like they're going to check it to him. And as Amarillo Slim says, if they're checking, I'm a betting. Rio's calling with the best hand here. Has a pair, some backdoor draws. So Thomas did fold there. So Rio's needing a spade, a king. There's a spade. Oh, Rios immediately moves all in. So Rios needing to catch a card on the turn, and he caught one of the cards. And this is putting River Rat to the test. River Rat with just the 6 kicker, worried about the kicker. So Rios basically decided if he caught a certain card on the turn, a king, a deuce, a spade, a jack, a 10, he was going to go with it. And he is going with it here. So River Rat with a big decision for all of his chips. If he makes the call, he will win 70% of the time. Yeah, he's going with it. So Rio's asking if you want to run it twice. And like we saw earlier with Don Neto, River Rat old school, he says one time. So River Rat needing to avoid all of the cards you see on top of your screen. And Rios is going to get there on the river. Give me 2 pair. I need 2 pair. So River Rat, the one getting rivered in this case. And I believe we have a seat open. I don't think River Rat is coming back after the king on the river. You can see he's down 700 for the night. I do not see a wait list on Poker Atlas, so I do not know if the seat's going to be filled. We do have some players playing on the outer tables. We have 3 tables on the main floor. So maybe somebody from one of those tables will take a seat, as we still have over an hour left on tonight's stream. They are letting the floor know that we do have a seat open. The Jack 4 for Mike will fold. Thomas making the call. Jimbo making the raise. And Leo with the ace will be making the call. Rio's going to be taking a break. Thomas hasn't played a hand in a while. Going to play the 8-6 here. Very coordinated flop. Leo flopping a straight draw, open ender, and he will bet. Thomas with a pair and a straight draw makes the call. So Thomas actually out in front right now. And he does hit his straight. The flush draw also comes in. And it'll be 4 clubs. It's going to go check, check on the river. And it looks like we do have somebody taking the seat. And yes, Omar, the River Rat got rivered. It's not fun when the rabbit has the gun. So seat 6 being taken. They will get a countdown of his chips. Looks like it's going to be just over 300. The minimum buy-in is 300 for the stream game. A lot of times these players will continue to play after the stream. So they're getting his information down. As it's going to be vote for Pedro. So back to 9-handed. No straddle this hand. Thomas won the last hand. Still down about 40 bucks for the night. Jimbo making the call as well. SR2 with the fold. Leo with the suited 9-3 makes the raise, and Pedro has ace queen. And it looks like he's coming in for the 3-bet. So welcome to the game, Pedro. Puts out the 3-bet on his first hand.
Raise first. Raise first. I mean, they are RFID chips. Yeah.
So Rios with the 4 deuce will make the fold and enjoy his massage. Oh, Jimbo with the suited cards. Cannot call a 3-bet. He would have caught the raise of Leo. And Leo didn't raise to fold, as he's going to make the call with 9 high. So heads up we go. Pedro hitting top pair. Easy game. Oh, he's going to get tricky and check. Leo picks up a straight draw. We'll check once again. Pedro going to be putting out about a half pot size bet. Leo making the call. Looking for an 8. Looking for a 6, excuse me. Oh, he gets the 6. So Leo going runner, runner, 4-liner on the board, and he's going to bet pretty big here. The flush draw did miss, so Pedro might get curious here. Any 3, any 8 makes a straight.
Disgusting theory.
So pretty ugly run out here for Pedro. But he's going to have to see it. And he's not going to like it. So Pedro, very first hand, picks up ace king, 3 bets, flops top pair, and loses.
Start betting every river again.
I mean, eventually they're gonna have it on the full.
So just about 3 hours into tonight's stream, once Ash Cash, the next dealer, comes in, we'll have exactly an hour left in the stream. We're pretty close to the dealers changing out. On a normal table, the dealers will change out every half hour, but on the stream table, they change out every hour. $10 button straddle. Rio's putting on $10 on the button. Action will be on seat 1. T-Mobile Mike, let's see what he has. He's got a double down hand. Thomas needs to put out his big blind. Dealer will let him know. Jimbo just makes the call of the $10. Suited ace for SR2. And Leo with the 7 deuce. Just won the last hand with 9-3. He's going to raise it up here with the 7 deuce.
Help yourself, huh? Because I can't. The Lord giveth and the Lord takes. Give me.
When he's giving, you gotta take it.
So, hey, let me just go to one of them.
I thought it was going to be a good bet. It's really tight. I was like,
Everybody making the call here,
Either way, I'm making
I always make
as there's going to be $174? No, $164.
4 high and 4. And so,
you can have a lot of eights there.
well, that's what he's been calling because he knows.
We got 4 players.
Yeah, I know it's true.
The 7 deuce game is not on. There are no bonus games. As it's going to come jack high, Jimbo with a jack. Leo going to continue on here.
Yeah, he is not at all.
Small bet. Rios makes the call with top pair. Jimbo might be going all in here. You can see the $50 representing a lot of his stack. Just going to make the call. And SR2 with bottom pair getting a really good price, but he's going to fold.
I don't know. I had a queen.
So Jimbo with about $100 left in his stack. You can see this pot's already over $300. Oh, SR2 would have got there with the 4. That's going to give Rios some outs to chop against the King Jack. And there's the all-in from Jimbo. Leo's not going to be able to call here, as it's only $22 more. But he knows one of these players has the jack, and he's drawn dead. So Rios does have some outs. They are going to run it twice. He needs a 9 for the win, an ace for the chop. The outs you see on top are good for a win or a chop. So 2 times. There's a chop. And there's a chop. So somehow this pot is going to get chopped, as Rios could only chop with an ace. They ran it twice, and the ace showed up twice. SR2 would have had a full house, but he folded on the flop.
You weren't asking for an ace?
Bro, I was just thinking, I told him, bro, he's gonna try to win. He's like, before, I was like, bro, an ace is gonna be double aces. Jeez, double Gary? No fucking way, no way.
Okay, I'm gonna put his hand.
So the dealer will chop up the pot, and I believe that'll be the, we're going to have a dealer switch after this hand. So while they take care of the chop pot and the dealer switch, don't forget about the progressive eye hands going on right now at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, month of October, $100 every hour with rollovers. And somebody hit a high hand earlier on stream for over $1,000. These high hands will normally always get up to $500 minimum during the day. And the reason why is aces full of 10s is the minimum qualifier, plus the players must use both their hold cards, plus whether or not there's a game going or not, $100 gets added to the pot. So doors open at 9 a.m. every day. A game usually starts at 10, and even if a game doesn't start, $100 will get added. There's also the buy 5, get 1 hour for free every day here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. And then there's also the daily pass. Buy 2 hours, get a $1 membership for all of October. So you get a 1 day, a daily membership, and 2 hours of play for $25. Essentially, you're buying 2 hours at $12, and you pay $1 for the membership. Daily pass here every day. And a new dealer, as we have Ash Cash exactly 1 hour to go in tonight's stream. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel, as this is the secondary channel for the Texas Card House. All of the locations stream on this channel. The main channel is TCH Live, which a lot of people are subscribed to, and you might be subscribed to that channel. The secondary channel, Texas Card House, 3 different words, secondary channel. Not a lot of people are subscribed to this channel, so make sure you take care of that right now. So 3 ways to a flop we go. And Leo going to be flopping top 2. And he's going to lead right out. Nobody has anything to call him with, so he's going to win a small pot as SR2 will make the fold. So Leo winning last hand, going to be putting on the under the gun straddle. Looks like 7, possibly 8. The VPIP, Leo leading the way, and $8 an ounce. Both Leo and Rios in at over 50%. Action on Pedro with the natural 9, 6-3 of diamonds. Pretty hand. I don't know if you could call under the gun. Teddy RG3, also with some suited connectors, will make the fold. David T with the King 8, and Rios makes the call with the Ace 5 of clubs. Thomas, 40% of a royal, makes the call, and Jimbo has the 6-4. He makes the call. So 5 ways to a flop we go. $40 in the middle. Action's going to be on Jimbo, who is up $26 for the stream. Leo with the 9-8. Ace high flop. Rios flopping top pair. Thomas still has the Royal draw available, as he could go runner for the Royal. Has a gut shot right now. So down to 3 ways to the turn.
I like the movie because it's entertaining, but if you break it down, it's fucking horrible. It's just horrible. All the poker's fucked up. The goddamn lead character has no character development. He starts out as a degenerate gambler, and he's a fucking degenerate gambler.
So Thomas at the gut shot now has a pair. We'll bet. SR2 with the pair and a straight draw.
I didn't get unlucky. I got outplayed. I'm like, you had 9s full, and you had aces full. Of course you got unlucky. That's exactly what happened. But I like the other one.
So Rios betting his ace on the river, hoping to get a call from a king.
Oh, and then if you do the math, when he's playing the Johnny Chan, he sat down with 6,000, and he like 4-bets when the 4-bet is big, and Johnny Chan's already like committed for 6,000. Fold. It's like
It's a good fold from Thomas here. But SR2 is not going to make the fold. He will call with the 10 and see the ace. Rios very relaxed right now.
What? I love the movie. If you break down every movie, yeah, there's a lot of them.
Jimbo putting on the $10 straddle on the button. Action will start to the left, to the left. Everything you own in a box to the left. SR2 in for 300. You can see he does have more than 300. And action will be on SR2. Ace 7 has an ace, just lost the last hand. Gonna take a little break here. Leo folding his big blind. Pedro also folding. King 9 for Rios, one last hand. T-Mobile Mike with the aces with a min raise. So Mike with the min raise.
I'll send you the link. I've seen, I have one buddy that went there. It's from Monterrey. It's a nice setup. They don't know what I haven't been, you know,
So bottom 2 pair for Jimbo.
they have like, I want to say it's more for the tournament.
And Mike's going to lead right out with the aces, not knowing that he's behind. He does have the ace of hearts.
They run like a $6,000 guaranteed tournament.
Yeah, they do a lot of, they give, I feel like they're giving away a lot.
Yeah, I think
I just haven't, you know, just try to do something.
I'm from Bronx, so I know all of them.
So Jimbo just calling. Needed to avoid an ace or a queen. And it is a heart, so that's going to give Mike some more outs. And Jimbo's going to go all in. And Mike going to call it off. Mike does have a lot of outs here. You can see he is up to 11 outs. Any heart, any 6, any queen, any ace. And that's not it. So Mike with the min raise with the aces. There was a $10 button straddle. Jimbo put the $10 on. Mike made it $20, so it was only $10 more for Jimbo to call. Obviously, the 5-3 is not a great hand, but it was only $10 more for Jimbo to call. He will make the call. And not sure if Mike's going to rebuy.
Yeah, I mean, I need like 3. I have 8. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say.
So Teddy RG3 still up over 1,000. And Jimbo winning that hand will get him into the positive. It's showing his stacks 386, but we can see that it's more, as it's looks like 500, so 400 for sure, and then he has the green on top, so he has more than 500. So something getting entered wrong. Ace queen for Pedro. He's in the big blind. This was the first hand he got when he sat down, and he lost the big hand with it. Thomas Raisin with the ace 5. Let's see if Pedro re-raises here.
So I get, like, I buy a wallet, whatever I get paid. 1 Bitcoin is $7,000
Oh, that's good.
I got the same hand. And I call Chris and I'm like, hey guys, will you cash me out? Like, will you pay me? Like, the cash for the Bitcoin? But yeah. So he paid me the cash. Yeah, it's like,
Of course, right? There's no way, right? I was gonna say.
I mean,
So Leo in the gambling mood.
looking at my Coinbase account, I was like, I forgot about that. And I saw the price and I'm like,
Ace queen versus 10-3. He's actually not in terrible shape. It's almost 50-50, as an ace has been folded and a queen has been folded. So Leo does have live cards.
That's the only reason I was thinking. I paid a monthly fee.
Oh, that might be why. Because I did something and then I put it there and it's been like months and they still have to give us like the bonus or
Damn, the Dodgers really came out to play tonight, huh? This game's getting interesting over here. They keep taking each other's leads, like leads. Casey started with the lead.
So it looks like it's going to be heads up, like I said. And Leo is not in terrible shape with his 10-3 of diamonds. We just saw the 5-3 win earlier. Let's see if the 10-3 is going to win. Looks like they're going to go twice, and Leo's going to hit the 10 right away. So Leo will win the first one. And Leo hits a 10 again, but this time Pedro hits a queen. And, oh, Leo is going to hit the last 10. He could only hit a 10.
I did 100% match, and I thought it was just forfeit.
So Pedro having bad luck tonight with the ace queen.
that's how I hit too.
I ended up getting a coin.
So Pedro going to have to rebuy. Looks like he's opening up his Cash App. So Pedro going to be rebuying.
Barrels, table 9.
So you want 1 or 3?
Looks like he's just rebuying for 100.
3 of these.
So $10 button straddle, making sure the rebuy gets taken care of. So rebuy taken care of. Pedro in for $100 rebuy in. And action's going to be on Pedro. He does not want to see ace queen. He's going to have king 6. Easy fold. There's the fold. Teddy RG3. Calling from the big blind with the king, queen offsuit. Jimbo makes the call with the queen 9, and Leo with the pocket pair is going to bump it up here an extra 25. And 3 ways to the flop we go. Teddy RG3 hitting the queen, as does Jimbo. Looks like it's checking around. Oh, Leo hitting his 5. Small bet. Does Leo raise here? There's the raise. Looks like T-Mobile Mike is back. So both Teddy RG3 and Jimbo hitting their 2-outer on the flop. Leo returns the favor and hits his 2-outer on the turn. And they're both drawing dead. Oh, Teddy RG3 does not believe Leo. He puts him on some sort of draw. Doesn't put him on an ace. Doesn't put him on a set. So he's going to want a heart to show up. Well, a 3 makes a straight now too. So that card might save him money, as he's going to check it over to Leo. Let's see what Leo bets. And he's going to put out a big bet, making it look like he missed his flush draw. Pretty quick fold from Teddy RG3 there. Did not believe him on the turn, but he did believe him on the river. Raise first, and that is Leo. He's up at 47%. SR2 still has not been the first to raise. $20 under the gun straddle coming from Rios. Mike is back in seat 1, and action will be on, Mike. Queen Jack of Hearts. Looks like he's going to min raise it. No more than a min raise. 3x in it. So $60 with the Queen Jack offsuit. Pocket 8s for SR2. Going to make the call with the best hand right now. Rios getting a pretty good price here. Oh, ace queen for David T. Let's see if he 3-bets. No, he folds. And Rios calling with the 6-4. So the ace queen folding to the raise, the 6-4 calling the raise. Welcome to Texas. 10-10-7. SR2 still with the best hand. Mike was your pre-flop aggressor. He's going to check. $100 bet coming from SR2. And this should work. And will work. So SR2's been pretty card dead, but he still managed to have a profit thus far, as we got less than an hour to go on tonight's stream. A lot of times these players will continue to play after the stream. But as I said, we do have a 4-hour stream on Wednesday nights. The players normally start about 6 o'clock. That was the case tonight. Factor in our 15-minute delay. So we started streaming about 6:15, which means we will go until about 10:15. Jacks for Thomas. Raising it up. Teddy RG3 calling with 2 overcards. Rios will fold. And we will go heads up to a flop. $44 in the middle. Dealer making change for the big blind. Burn in 1, turn in 3. And it's going to be a king for Teddy RG3. Thomas going to put out the C bet. Only the king beats him. But we could see that Teddy RG3 does have that king. 6 on the turn. Let's see if Thomas slows down. He does. And Teddy RG3 getting tricky with the check behind. Thomas putting out 30. We'll get a snap call. So a nice check on the turn from Teddy RG3 as it got his opponent to lead out on the river. So Teddy RG3, still your biggest winner, but now is less than 1,000. He's followed closely by David T. Leo, the most active player tonight, he's up $300. Rios up $200. Jimbo up $16. And SR2, I guess he rebought. I thought he was just in for $300, but maybe he rebought. Leo with the Jack 5, a fan of Motown, will raise it up to 15. And nobody with anything to call him with. So a raise and take from Leo. I think that's the first time we see that tonight where somebody raises and everybody folds. Button will move to Rios. Rios has normally put on a button straddle. The max is $10 and it looks like he's putting out $6, which is the minimum.
Minimum 6. That's cool. You in? Yeah, he's on. Yeah, that's my turn. Yeah, it's just turn. Oh, no, all day. No, I don't take offense to that.
All right, so the players agreeing to do a round of straddles. Minimum $6. Jimbo making it 10. I think Pedro's going to be a little surprised when he comes back. But Pedro's not here to vote. So Jimbo putting 10 on. Players agreeing to a round of straddles.
Who shows ace-9? I have 10s in the small blind. And then who should shove there? Because he made like 280. So who doesn't shove like bluffs? Who shoves? So I mean, I happen to be watching. I was like, oh my god.
So everybody calling the 10. And it's going to be an ace-high flop with 2 spades. Jimbo flopping 2 pair. And he's going to check. So a 5 makes a straight. Nobody has a 5. But Thomas is going to put out a small bet here with his 4.
That's 12 bigs if you think about it. I play a lot of online tournaments, and
And I think Thomas is drawing dead here. Oh no, he has hearts. I thought he had a different hand. He has hearts. He's gonna miss, so Jimbo will take down this pot. He's gonna try to get a little value from Thomas. Thomas makes the quick fold. So round of straddles. So SR2 will put on a straddle. Minimum $6, maximum half the stack. He's probably going to put out 6. Let's see if the table reminds him.
That's when that Club WPT gold comes. Yeah. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've been wanting to do I set up the I've been on GT. If you ever want to get on there, let me know. Yeah, we should reach you up to 6.
So they are reminding him about the straddle. He's got 8 deuce.
They're in DPN zone.
You gotta use it for tried playing there in Edinburg.
I have a server in New Jersey. They're playing Poker Stars, but they weren't trying to keep me from playing. But they wanted like retarded amounts of.
Yeah, they want to bill. They want to bill.
Yeah, they wanted a paper bill.
Oh yeah, tell them you have an Airbnb and you don't pay the bill. When I played on Freebird,
So ace, queen of hearts for Rios. He raises it up to 25. Mike calls him with the better ace. And SR2 will fold his straddle. Heads up we go. Mike going to be hitting middle pair. And Rios is going to slow down. Mike bets his middle pair. Rios checking again.
No, that's the only reason Poker says I got in like very late. Well, that's why I stopped with this fucking Poker 7-7. I was doing good there. And then I was like they gave me. It's too easy because we can also.
Pre-flop raising. Leo leading the way over a third of the time. SR2 still on the bottom, still at 0%. $10 live straddle under the gun from Leo. The players did agree to a round of straddles. So Teddy RG3 getting his Oreo cookie to scan, and he's going to be calling the raise. Ace King for David T. Raises it up. An immediate call with the Jack 7 of clubs for Rios. 7 deuce for Leo. He's going to make the call. And awkward spot here for Teddy RG3 as he will be closing the action, but he is dominated. We are going 4 ways to the flop. The Ace King having the King 10 dominated. The Jack 7 having the 7 deuce dominated. $204 in the pot. Make sure you hit the like button right now. 8 high flop. Nobody hitting a pair. The Ace King still out in front. He's going to check. So Leo turning a straight draw, open-ended. Rios also turning a straight draw, but he has a flush draw to go along with it.
Little $100 bill, you know. Hey, everything's out.
So that is actually a 3D printed Oreo. That is not a real Oreo cookie. Rios not folding his flush draw, makes the call. Leo needs help. If he doesn't get help, he's going to have to bluff. And he hits the same straight as Rios. They each have the 7. They each have the same straight. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he's going to put out a big bet. Rio's going to be... Oh, Rio's thinking about raising here. You lose to the 9-7, but that's it. Rios makes the call, and they will chop the pot. So Pedro's going to come back, and they're going to let him know, hey, we agreed to a round of straddles.
Both are sick.
Anti-German.
Oh, that turn was fucking.
Both are sick.
7 dudes called 50.
Man, 50. He put all the he put out.
So the players just realizing that Leo called a bet with the 7 deuce.
Yeah, that was Hey, we're sorry. It's okay. This is good that we got to see hands, bro.
So they're gonna let they're gonna let Pedro know about the straddle right now, as it is gonna be his straddle. The players did agree to a round of straddles, but Pedro is not here.
I wanted an ace, to be honest.
So let's see if Pedro puts on the straddle.
That was the only hand that would have been so sick. But we're straddling.
So Leo letting Pedro know about the straddle. So minimum 6. So Pedro does put out the straddle. It's a minimum 6, maximum half your stack. Five deuce for Teddy. RG3 will probably be folding. Ace jack for Rios. It's going to be raising it up to 35, trade 5. Mike with the jack 5 of hearts makes the call, but he is dominated. Leo with the suited queen also makes the call. And Pedro folds his suited queen as we go 3 ways to the flop of over $100. 9 high flop. Everybody missing and everybody checking. 10 on the turn. Leo gonna bluff here.
One of them are about to land. Someone's got to land. This one's stuck. This one's got to land sometimes. I got to have it sometimes.
And the bluff's gonna work. Let's see if he shows it. Shows the deuce, implying that he had 7 deuce again.
I really thought the 6 was the best card for me.
So over a $900 profit for seat 7. Over an $800 profit for seat 8. Leo, he's up over $450. Rios up over $200. And Jimbo up. Everybody else in the negative. As we will have a $12 under the gun straddle. They did agree to a round of straddles, and this was when the button was in seat 9. So let's see if they keep up the round of straddles, as David has a suited ace. Just makes the call. Rios with the suited king also makes the call. Jimbo with clubs. He's coming along. And Leo will complete with his 7-3.
Oh no, ace queen. I haven't made a hand. Imagine if I make one.
Imagine if I could
Okay, I've been here since I got to be like 6 weeks. I don't have one.
So the white chip's worth $1.
I don't have one.
The red chip's worth $5, and the green chip's worth $25. As the dealer will clean up the pot. It was $12 to go, so had to make some change. Ace high flop. That's ace queen 6. The flop is ace queen 6. The card reader picking something up wrong. Ace queen 6. And now trips for David T. And looks like he's gonna bet here. Jimbo calling with his 6. So David looking for an ace or a 4 or a full house for a football score. Jimbo's drawn dead. Did the last ace come? Don't know what the river is, but I do know that David won. I don't think it was an ace because he would have got a football square if it was an ace. So we do have the regular straddle, and Rios putting on the double straddle. So double straddle from Rios. Action will be on Mike.
You bet the over under on what your straddle? I said 30.
I'll take the over. I'm gonna play this hand. Okay. I'll take the over. I like that one. He had 300, so you know we can push him.
So SR2 with the twos. And Leo raising it up with the 7-6 offsuit, using his position here, seeing the two straddles, the double straddle, going after the dead money. $60 more for Rios to call. But he will fold. Jimbo makes the call. And SR2 will fold the twos. King, King, Jack. Continuation bet Leo puts out of $50. Jimbo does have a gut shot. Backdoor spades. And he is going to call. One out for Leo if he wants to win at showdown. Oh, and he hits the one out. It's going to go check, check. And I believe the river is a king. Oh, and he gets snap called. People don't fold full houses. So Jimbo picking the worst time to bluff as Leo hit his one outer on the turn. He bets 150, gets snap called, and immediately folds. So none of the players actually showing their cards. As Jimbo got snap called, he knew he was not good, so he folded. Leo does not have to show. He does not show, but he does take the pot. There's the VPIP. So Pedro, the last player to sit down, he's in at 13%. Both Leo and Rios in at over 50%. And we are continuing on with the round of straddles as Rios will put on the $8 under the gun. Jack 5 for Mike. He played Jack 5 of hearts earlier, but this is not suited and he will fold. Ace 8 for Jimbo makes the call. SR2 with the Ace 7 of clubs makes the call. And Leo's going to raise it up to 35 with the 10-4, the trucker hand. That's a good 10-4, good buddy. So everybody calling? Are the two aces calling? And we're going heads up to a flop. You can see Leo actually has the best percentage right now. He has live cards, he has live suits, and he has position. He's going to flop top pair. Huge flop for SR2 here. Flops a pair, flops a flush draw and a straight draw. I think SR2's just going to call, although this is a good hand to raise with. Yeah, he just makes the call. First time playing on the stream, he's been playing a little passive. This is a hand you normally want to check raise with. 9 coming on the turn. That's going to kill some of his outs. And now he's going to lead. Top pair for Leo. He's not going anywhere. 9 of clubs is no longer good. Oh, he's going to hit his flush. So second time, SR2 hitting a flush on the river. Last time he got paid. And he's going for it all. Leo does not like it. Leo knows that his 10 is no longer good. So SR2 all in. You can see something getting punched in wrong with the graphics, but Leo going to fold the 10. Let's see if SR2 fold. It shows. He is not going to show. So still have about 20 minutes left in tonight's stream. Stratos still on. Players agree to a round of Stratos. And Mike put it on $10 under the gun. SR2 stacking his chips. As it is almost 10 o'clock. 2 minutes till 10. That is Central Time, Texas time. Texas minus El Paso. 3 deuce of diamonds for Thomas. Makes the call. Jimbo with the kings. Tiny raise here from Jimbo. And Leo just going to be making the call with the ace 10 of diamonds. Thought about raising. And everybody calling Jimbo's raise here. So $84 pots. Jimbo with the kings. Looking to avoid an ace. Looking to avoid diamonds. Queen high flop coming for Jimbo. Leo does hit a pair of 10s. Jimbo will put out a $50 bet here. Leo does have a pair. He's going to see at least one more card. And we should be going heads up here. Jimbo looks like he has less than 100 left. And Leo has already decided to call if they go all in on the turn, and that's exactly what happened. So let's see if they go once or twice. Leo needs an ace or a 10. 5 outs. Ace or a 10. Leo's been lucky with 10s earlier, as a 10-3 was able to beat ace queen, running it twice. So it is a $93 all-in bet. I believe they're going to run it twice. So Leo needing a 10 or an ace. So they are running it twice. Leo needed an ace or a 10, as each player has just shown one card. That's not it. And that's it. So it's going to be a chop pot as the ace comes on the river to give Leo 2 pair. So let's see if they keep the Stratos on here. Tomorrow here at the Texas Card House, we have 2 for 1 time, $100 max. That's all day Thursday and Sunday. And then in 2 days, it is the $2,000 guarantee tournament every Friday at 6. I don't know if it's going to be $20 or I don't know if it's going to be free, but either way, it is a very good deal. 20-minute levels every Friday, 6 p.m. 5,000 early bird bonus. 5,000 early bird bonus. So it looks like they are continuing on with the straddles as Thomas will put $7 under the gun. Action on Jimbo, 8-4 offsuit.
Oh, damn. I had to say jack. So when I called you with the river, I was like, I need a 9, I need a 9. And then he expected 3, and then he expected 2. Oh, what happened to mine now?
Jack 8.
Yeah, so queen or jack on the river, I would have still lost.
Not Jack it, but Jack 8.
I had 2 over pairs and a gutter for a 9.
I could have all the pairs, the straights, except for aces.
All right, so we have exactly 15 minutes left on the stream. Our last hand of the night will be hand 95. So 6 more hands count in this one. Oh, aces.
I had queen jack to that 10, maybe if I get a 9, I have the 9. So I was thinking 9, queen jack, river.
And we're going to have a fun flop here as Leo flopping top pair and Teddy RGV flopping a flush draw to go along with his aces. So Leo has 2 outs. We saw him hit 1 out earlier. He still has 2 outs. So the 2 outs are on the top.
Yeah, you would have got 10 from me. I know you would have.
Needs a jack or an 8 that is not a diamond, so the 8 of diamonds no good. And the board double pairing. It's going to go check, check. And that win might take Teddy RG3 back up to over $1,000 profit for the night. So we have 5 hands left on tonight's stream. The aces do not get cracked. But the straddles are still on. As Jimbo announcing a $25 straddle. So $25 straddle coming from Jimbo here.
25 live.
1, 2, 25. SR2 with the queen 10. Not going to be good enough to call the 25. Leo with the queen 4 of hearts going to raise it up to 80. Really forcing somebody to pick up a hand.
Face cards, ace, king, pair, 7, 9.
Rios with the 8s. Needs to call 80. Bit of a subliminal message. Got 8s in your hand. Need to call 80. And oh, he's going all in for 800. So Leo should be folding pretty quick here, and does.
I don't care. I have a pair. I just didn't want to.
So dealer does owe the blinds some chips that'll get taken care of.
I'll show you.
So that's actually over $100 win
He's going to bet it to me regardless.
for Rios, as there was a $25 under the gun straddle, and then Leo making it 80, so that's 105 there, plus the blinds.
I thought I looked at my phone, it was 10 minutes left. So I was in and go out like that. Just calling them down on juice. That would have sucked. But like if it goes like jack, 7, deuce, at least jack, I just call
So it looks like the straddles are still on, as we do have a double straddle. So Leo with the double straddle. Action is going to be on Pedro with the natural 9, the 4-5. Nice hand in Baccarat. Not so good in poker. Teddy RG3 making the fold. Rios also making the fold. T-Mobile Mike raising it up to, no, just calling the double straddle with the king high. SR2 with the jack 4. Calls the extra $6. And we are going 4 ways to a flop. Leo in with the 8-6 of spades. He was your double straddle. Ace high 2 clubs. Nobody with clubs. Nobody with an ace. And everybody's going to check. Oh. So the 6 coming on the turn. Leo going to hit one of his outs. But he's going to check. And now the 10 coming on the river. So Mike hitting top second pair. And he's going to put out a small bet here. A $10 bet for his 10s. Another subliminal message here. Leo's probably going to call, and he literally knows he's not good. He's all like, I'm going to give you $10, bro. So $69 pot going to Mike. And we are continuing on with the straddles. Looks like a $15 straddle. So we still have 2 hands to go. Normally we get between 80 and 100 hands in for a 4-hour stream. And looks like we almost got to 100. We got 95 tonight. This is going to be hand 94. Pedro not in his seat. He will get, no, there he is. Pedro with the 8 deuce of diamonds. Should be folding. Is that the Cajun Asian? Cajun Asian making an appearance tonight.
I'm up everywhere. Hey, what happened to the Saints, wait? Hey, no way. You're going to do good with Spencer, my boy.
So 5 ways to the flop. King high flop, all spades. Jimbo with the king. Thomas with the jack of spades.
Hey, this guy goes to Hayashi. Wait, taking a Burger King.
10 coming on the turn. Jimbo is going to bet his king. Mike turned into 10. Is it enough to keep him in the hand? $45 bet. He's not going to call, and Thomas is also going to fold. So Jimbo taking down that pot. And as I said, 2 more hands to go. That was hand 93. This will be hand 94. We could see Teddy RG3 up over 1,000. Pedro putting on the $10 straddle. SR2 up almost 200. So Pedro clarifying that it is not 10 and it is 6. Rios with the 3s. Just making the call. Leo with the king 7 of clubs. Also makes the call. Pedro with the 7s, taking it up. Thinks the pocket pair is the best hand, and he is correct. Looks to be a little on the small side. It's going to be an extra 25 for everybody to call. And I'm not saying everybody's going to call, but I think most people are going to call. Rios with the 3s. He has a pocket pair. He's not going anywhere. Jimbo calling on his button. And Leo hasn't met 2 cards that he doesn't like. So 7's way out in front right now. 10 high, 2 hearts. Jimbo does have 1 heart. Pedro only has to worry about the 10. He's going to put out the continuation bet. You can see the pot's already $142. And he's going to bet $58, so about a third of the pot. Rios with the 3s. Doesn't want to give up just yet. So the 2 pocket pair are going to be going to a turn. Rios does have 3s available, but that's not a 3. Oh, Rios putting Pedro to the test. Pedro checking. Rios immediately moving all in. Doesn't believe his opponent has a 10, but his opponent has 7s. Oh, and Rios gonna get the best hand to fold. All right, so last hand coming up. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, a lot of times the last hand, funny things happen on the last hand, but that'll be the last hand tonight. Coming up, hand 95. So this is the last hand of the night. And looks like the straddle is still on. They will change out the quarter. Our next stream will be on the main channel, which is TCH Live. That's going to be on Friday. And I believe that's going to be Omaha. We've been playing Omaha the last month. So last hand of the night. Looks like nobody wanting to get involved. Thomas will make it king-queen with... Thomas will make it 20 with the king-queen. There you go. Jacks for Jimbo. Just makes the call. Leo comes along with the suited 8-6. And Teddy RGV will make the fold. So 3 ways to a flop we go of $69 in the flop. In the pot. $69, 3 ways to the flop. And Leo will flop 2 pair. Nobody with a heart. It looks like Thomas is going all in here, and he's drawn very thin. Jimbo also going all in. And like I said, a lot of times the last hand, weird stuff happens. So Jimbo going to need a jack or a 3. Thomas needing running cards. So a 3 would be very interesting, as it will give Thomas outs. So Thomas needs a king, a queen, or a 3 to have some outs.
Unless it comes king, queen, no.
So nobody has hearts. That's not it. Thomas drawn dead. That's not it. So the 8-6 will win that pot. And the jacks will win the second pot. So it'll be a chop. Leo and Jimbo will chop it up. And that'll do it for tonight. Like I said, a lot of times, for whatever reason, the last hand, weird stuff happens. Thank you for joining us tonight. If you're still not subscribed to the secondary